Hey foodies, welcome to my channel Butter and Sage, and yes, I will be making sage butter, but not today, but it is definitely coming, also cultured butter and things like that. So today I want to talk about these few ingredients that I have here. I decided to pop to farmer's market this morning. I needed to get some fresh baguette, which they bake every morning, and it was really lovely and warm and freshly baked. This is just a mini baguette. I never get through one of those huge ones, so for us just this fresh one on the day is enough. Then I also wanted to get some red peppers, and the rest is extra, but I will talk you through what I'm planning to do with it. So I wanted to get some red peppers for this lovely roasted pepper salad that is also kind of like a staple throughout the year on my table. It is kind of also reminding me, similarly to the courgette recipe that we did last time, it's reminding me of summer and kind of all these lovely bright colors and vivid flavors. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do with them in a second. So then I also saw these lovely new potatoes, and I got, I don't know how much it measured, but I'd say around a kilo, maybe a bit less. It doesn't really matter, there's no need for precision. I'm just planning to cook them with some dill. I forgot that I got actually fresh dill today because I'm running out of my dill in the freezer, which I pre-prepare, including chives and sometimes other herbs. I love the scent of it, but it needs some preparing because it won't last very long. So I'm gonna do that. Generally, I just wash it, chop it finely, put it into like, I had to go quickly grab the dill from the fridge, which I also got, and I really like this one here. Well, dill is dill, but where we live, this is kind of the freshest that you can get in a plastic container. You can also put it into one of those zip bags and just pop it in the freezer, and you will have fresh dill, because there is no way I'm going to use up all of this while it's fresh. So I'll have to do that. And then I'm gonna show you a recipe. Really nice, lovely potato salad. I had so many different potato salads in my life, and this is the one that I enjoy the most. It's really, really kind of simple, full of flavor, and it would go well with anything from fish, like salty fish, if you like herring, maybe with some pan-fried salmon. Also chicken dishes, meat dishes, just works with anything. But I think if you like kind of your flavorful fish dishes, then this would be great. Also on its own, just as a nice bit of potato salad, it's great. Garlic, I always need garlic, and this is a nice chunky one, so I'm going to use that. And Bromley apples. Now I needed to get some apples, and generally I never buy Bromley apples, but they smell so different. They smell like a real apple that I remember from like when I was little and we had apple trees, and that would be, or you go to the market and you get that whiff of these beautiful apples. And Bromley apples just are really chunky, and you just need 3, and look, you're pretty much, you know, you've got there like a big dessert coming, like a big apple pie or something. But I'm going to show you some traditional, they're like these sort of pastries that are very, very thin, delicious, and they're filled with apples. They're traditional pastry that you would have in Odessa, which is where I'm from originally. I was born in Odessa, and Odessa in Ukraine, that is. And so I'm planning to make a little dessert. Another thing that I saw there, which was really exciting, is look at the size of these walnuts. Aren't they just amazing? I have to be honest here and tell you that I had most of the bag and I couldn't stop eating them. This morning when I came home, I cracked them open and I just had them like standing up here in the same spot and just eating them. But I wanted to leave a few just to show you, because I'm gonna go back tomorrow and get some more. It's a really rare kind of situation where you can get these walnuts. They're quite special. They're not your usual walnuts that you get in the supermarket. These are called wet walnuts. And the difference is that they just recently have been picked. They're in season now, so watch out for them in your farmers markets or wherever you can kind of explore slightly different vegetable variety other than the regular supermarkets. And so when they fall down, when they're ripe from the trees, they come in this green kind of outer layer which has to be peeled off, and if you do it by hands it will color your hands like this dark brown color, but eventually this is what you get, and they still feel a bit wet to touch, and that's what it is. It's wet walnut, and inside is a baby walnut. If you have never tried this fresh rather than dry walnut, you have to try it. Like, try to see if you can get these are amazing. You have to peel the thin skin, don't eat it because it's very bitter. You peel the thin skin and then you're left with, I'll try to leave picture somewhere here and you're just left with this sweet crunchy flesh of the nut, which is just delightful. So that's what I got, and I'm planning to do things with all of these items, but today we'll be focusing on peppers. And before we start on peppers, I also wanted to share this cute little plant, not really kitchen related, as in it's not food related, but I popped to a garden shop this morning because I needed to get a pot. And you know how it is for plant lovers, you go to get one thing and you come out with a new plant and a new pot. So I got 2 pots and a new plant. So this one is called Easy and Strong. It says, I think it says Floya Australis Lisa. So this is what it looks like. I hope it's focusing. And basically you get these different varieties. There is one which is just green leaves. There is one that has white kind of outer casing or like edges. And then there's this one which has yellow, chartreuse yellow, stunning color. I mean, how could I say no to this and walk past it? And when they're baby leaves, they're pink. And what's more interesting is the fact that it's flowering, and it's a baby now, so I'm not expecting flowers, but maybe next year. Flowering time is September to October. If you're a foodie, oftentimes you will also enjoy plants because it's kind of, you know, nature related. All right, so what we're going to do with peppers, I'm going to wash the peppers, leave them whole, don't do anything to them. Take a tray, this is a nice thick one, I think this is by James Martin, doesn't really matter, but I like these ones. These are really, really heavy and they are lasting a lot longer than other trays, so I do like his Stellar, Stellar, so I quite like this range. So what I'm going to do is, once I've washed them, I'll just pop them on the tray and I put them in the oven just like that, doing absolutely nothing else at this point. And we're going to roast them at 200. You need to rotate them a little bit, so sometimes it can take up to an hour. Just make sure they don't burn, and I will show you what to do next with them. It's been roughly an hour since the peppers went into the oven at 200 degrees, but you need to watch your oven. Every oven is slightly different. I just turned them once, kind of midway. And this is what they look like. So slightly charred on some sides. And basically I just, you know, they're originally, they were like this, and I just turned them the other way around. So that's it. Now, the trick is to take a bowl and pop your peppers inside there so that it will be easy to handle the skin. Just like that. They're piping hot. Maybe use tongs. All right. Now, cling film over and leave them to cool down. Just like that. Now you have time to have a cup of coffee, maybe catch up with your favorite YouTubers, or read a magazine, read a book, and then I'll show you what to do next. The peppers have relaxed and hopefully cooled down. Meanwhile, I have prepared a few things. But first of all, what we need to do is get the peppers out onto strainer and just try to peel it inside here. So all the pips will stay here, all the bits you don't want, and then the juices, we want to save them for the marinade. Ideally you want to do this like next day when they cool down. I've got a plate here. Hopefully they'll cool down faster and then I can take off any remaining seeds. Save the juices as well from the peppers. Don't pour them away. These are good peppers, really juicy. The better your peppers are, the better the dish will taste. And then we're going to save all the juices, and I'll show you how to make the marinade. While the peppers are cooling down, we're going to work on the marinade. Here are all the beautiful juices that we have saved. And what we're going to do is just add some olive oil. This is extra virgin, so get the nice and flavorful olive oil. I'd say a few tablespoons. Then in here I have got small clove of garlic, pinch of black pepper, freshly ground, and I've got about half a teaspoon of dry parsley, but if you have fresh, go for the fresh. I just didn't have any to hand. When you're doing the marinade, it's a good idea to do it when it's warm, because the flavors will start working much faster. So that's the benefit of burning your fingers when peeling the peppers when they're hot. And then I have about a tablespoon of really finely chopped red onion. You can do with shallots as well, but I find shallots can be sometimes a bit too strong. Then we will need a vinegar. I've got my homemade vinegar, which I made a few years ago. I've got a few bottles of it. It's from the red grapes that we have growing in the garden. I'd say about about 2 tablespoons for this amount. The aroma is beautiful. You can go for like apple cider vinegar, that's nice and neutral. This one has more fragrance. We will need about a teaspoon of sugar to neutralize the acidity of the vinegar. We will need, for this amount of peppers, probably half a teaspoon of salt flakes, sea salt flakes. And then this is a whole grain mustard, so about a heaped tablespoon of that goes in. And now it's time to taste everything and see how are the flavors. It's kind of tasting raw flavors, so to speak, because nothing had time to marinate. But we just want to know, is it salty enough? Yeah, there's enough salt. I may want to add a little bit of vinegar. About there. And that is it. Okay, I'm going to now take off all of the seeds of the peppers, because they're now nice and cooled down. So it's not going to burn my fingers now, and I can go ahead and take off all of those seeds that were super hot to handle just before. And then we'll put the salad together. It's really simple, really easy, nice and quick. All right, so peppers are ready, nice and clean and peeled, and no pips on there. So now we just need to arrange them. I'm also going to tear these big parts into kind of medium-sized, and we're going to arrange them into a flower shape, just going all the way around the plate like so. Having a deeper plate really helps with that, because we can use all the juices here and the marination to submerge the peppers. Kind of, they need to swim in there. And you can eat them straight away, but next day, after they had about a night in the fridge, they just taste so much better. And the day after, you can eat them for a few days. They're good for about, I don't know, 5 days, 6 days. It's sort of like, you know, the peppers are cooked, they are marinated in this gorgeous olive oil and vinegar, so they can last quite a while. You can make this dish ahead of time if you have guests coming, and that's the beauty of it. I've made this dish many times for dinner parties. It's really impressive, it looks good, it tastes delicious. You can just toast some baguette, whatever bread you like, sourdough, and just offer this as a kind of side dish. Now we're going to submerge this whole pepper with the marination, and it may look like it's a lot, but trust me, once the pepper sits in this kind of beautiful, flavorful marinade. You can start eating the marinade by dipping your beautifully toasted bread in there as well. So that is our beautiful roasted pepper salad. I hope you try to make it, and if you do, let me know how you get on. Enjoy!